Welcome. My name is Dr. Alaric Aranender. I have a PhD in neuroscience, and I've been doing brain research for a long time. And I wanted to share with you some of the basics of how to maintain your health over a long life. Health is a matter of change. Everything is always changing in our physiology. It's changing in the world around us. What we want to do is maximize the quality and the duration of that change. We want to make sure our change is as orderly as possible and as continuous as possible. When the change starts breaking up and disappearing, then we start getting into states which are not useful for a long and happy life. We should understand that as a PhD, I cannot recommend what a normal medical physician would. So if you have a specific complaint or problem or medical condition, I am not in a position to offer you direct advice. I suggest if you have a complaint or concern, you approach your health professional and discuss and consult with that individual or individuals about any of this information I might be offering and so forth. This is a standard thing. This is for your own benefit, but I do want to offer you what I think are the basics from brain research over the last 40, 50 years. So we want to focus mainly in this particular video on what possible supplements are going to be essential for the most youthful brain and the most youthful physiology. We want to maintain health for as long as possible. We want to supplement to minimize the wear and tear that we engage with in this modern life. We want to maximize order and minimize disorder. So we have a company, the Anti-Aging Company. We have a website, www.anti-agingcompany.com. That's anti-agingcompany.com. And our website offers you tremendous range of knowledge. There's product. It's all research-based, and it's for your health and your longevity. So how do you decide about what you should take as supplements? Everybody is interested in supplements. There are websites galore. There are vitamin stores in every mall. How do you decide? How do you navigate through this huge sea of information and possibilities? It's overwhelming. It's time-consuming, and most of us don't, as general public, feel qualified to understand the research basis of how to choose intelligently. Because we want not only a quantity of life, a long life, but we want that life to be of the highest possible quality. So how are we going to do that? We're going to talk about 4 brain essentials. These essentials, as supplements, will help us with our diet and our exercise and our proper routine for the most youthful brain. So, what are the 4 essentials? The first one is the B vitamins. Most people take B vitamins as a supplement. You have a multivitamin pill you take perhaps. But you should probably also supplement with a full B complex. Now the Bs are very important. They're there for our nervous system and for our energy, and they're essential for a balanced health physiology. There are 8 B vitamins. Now, although we call them B vitamins, they're really not that much related to each other, but they just happen by the nature of serendipitous to be put together in the same package. But nevertheless, they're all important. They support our cellular and our bodily physiology, our metabolism. And if we are missing these things or we're deficient in them, they lead to specific disease states. And even if we don't have a chronic, obvious disease state, they lead to deficits in how we think, feel, and how we age. So there are 8 Bs. They're considered safe to take. There's very little toxicity on any of these levels, so you don't have to be concerned about them. Perhaps niacin you'd be easy with. Don't take too much niacin. But other than that, all the Bs are pretty safe to take in whatever dosage you like, within reason, of course. You want to take a higher dosage. You don't want the 25, 30%. You want something in the 100, 200, 400% percentage diet recommendation. And it's important to realize that aging is heavily impacted by the lack of B vitamins, in particular folate and B12. Now, we have another whole video that explains in detail B12, but for the sake of this video, your B12 is very important, especially if you're vegetarian, because there's no source of B12 in a vegetarian diet, in plant source. So basically, you need to supplement with a very high concentration of B12. And we would suggest you look for a methylcobalamin, because that is the one that's natural and easily assimilated. So B12 is very important. The B complex is very important. So this should probably be one of the essential parts of your ability to supplement your diet. What about number 2? Number 2 in the essentials are the omegas. Now everybody's heard about the omegas. There are shelves full of omegas. There are refrigerators full of omegas. Most of the omegas you see, the omega-3s, they're found as flaxseed oil and hemp seed oil and stuff like that. I want to help you differentiate between what you normally see and what you really need, because omegas are essential for proper fats. If you balance your fats, you're going to balance your health. Whole body health, brain health. So what are the essentials of essential fatty acids? Well, the name speaks for it. It's essential, these components are essential because you don't produce them, or at least you don't produce enough of them. Research is very clear about this. They are essential because you need to bring them in from your diet, whether it's from the food sources or supplementation. There are many benefits from these omegas. They function in every single cell in your body, and they have great impacts upon how every cell is healthy and nurturing to the whole physiology. Take, for example, your brain. The cortex of the human brain is made up of 20% of one of the specific omega-3s called DHA. Just DHA alone, which we produce very little of, is 20% of your cerebral cortex. This shows you the significance of how you're going to think, feel, and behave and age. So what are the benefits? You may not recognize it, but research is very clear about this. Omega-3s, and I'm talking now about DHA and EPA, not the ALA, the essential plant-based one. I'm talking about the marine sources from algae and fish and krill. The marine source, the DHA and EPA, they influence and improve heart, joint, they reduce inflammation, they improve respiratory function, immune function, pregnancy, infant health. It changes language, it changes your learning ability, it influences attention, it influences your bones, it influences your blood sugar. Many, many areas of your body, in fact, every area of your body is going to be influenced by having enough DHA and EPA. So let's spend just a moment on that. There are two main kinds of omegas. There's several kinds, but there are two main kinds. There's the omega-3s, okay, and there are the omega-6s. Now we have a lot of omega-6s in our diet now. Back 100 years ago, we had maybe a 1-to-1 ratio of 3 to 6. Now we have like a 40 to 1. We have 40 values of 6s and 1 value of 3s. Things are way out of balance. This real imbalance is the basis of the whole body inflammation and many of our disease states, including improper aging and Alzheimer's. We want to bring balance to that, and since it's hard for people to balance their diet, the easiest way to approach this thing, besides balancing your diet, would be to supplement with the 3s to bring more equilibrium to that ratio. Since most people are not going to drop their 6s as much as they should in the normal Western diet, we should bring up the 3s to help correct that ratio. So we want to supplement because that will reverse the inflammation of our physiology. The 6s are related to increased inflammation, the 3s are anti-inflammatory. And inflammation has to do with cardiovascular system, diabetes, aging, and so forth. Now, there are two sources of the 3s, for example. There is the plant source, flax, hemp, and so forth. And although those are good seed sources of protein and oils in general, they don't give you the DHA and EPA. What you need is a marine source. That either means algae, or the plankton which eat the algae, or the krill which eat the plankton, or the fish, or the big fish. So you need to look for a marine source. If you're vegetarian, you can use algae. If you don't care about vegetarianism, then you choose one of the other, in particular, one of the sustainable fish sources. So how do we choose? I'm not going to go into this in great detail because we have a whole structure on this, and we'll have a webinar in the future on this. But the basic criterion is, for your own safety and to ensure effectiveness, you want to make sure that they're pure, right? Animals, fish that live in the ocean have a problem because there's accumulation of metals and there are chemicals. And we don't want that as the material becomes more and more concentrated to take that into our physiology. So you have to make sure that they're pure. You also have to make sure they're not rancid. Just like butter can go bad, these omegas can also go bad. That's why most of the flaxseed oil is kept in the refrigerator in the vitamin store or the health food store. These things go bad. They get oxidized. And so therefore, you need to ensure that you have the purest, most fresh preparation. And for that, you need to ensure that you have a certificate indicating how pure and fresh they are. And there are very few purveyors of omegas, DHA and EPA, which will actually provide you that. Nordic Natural is one of the few, and I like that very much. But you should find a source that will actually verify how pure and fresh they are. You also have to find out what form, because there's many forms of the DHA and EPA, and whether they're testing for not only effectiveness, but also the dosage. So here are some of the criterion, and in another video we go into more detail and analysis. So omegas are important. You should increase your omega-3s, your DHA and EPA. This is not the flaxseed oil, it's not the hemp seed oil, it's not the chia seed oil. This is marine source, whether it's algae, krill, or fish. Okay? So the next area, first we talked about, do you remember? Does everybody remember what the first point was? We had something. What was the first one we talked about? Does anybody remember?
Bees.
What?
Bees.
The bees. Now, did you remember? Because it took a while for here. We should all check our bees, all right? So the bees were important. We showed the omegas are important. Now, energy. We need to make sure that to keep this physiology cranking along, we have the proper energy. That means every part of our cell physiology needs to be supplied with proper energy. And we have in every cell little powerhouses, little factories which make energy. And for that, those powerhouses have to have the right components and access to the substrates to make that energy. So if you balance your energy metabolism, you're going to balance your health. Balanced energy for balanced health, just like balanced fats for balanced health. So what about the energy? We came back to these little powerhouses in the cell. They're called mitochondria. That's the name of a little organelle that helps create all the energy in every single cell in your body. Okay? Now, there are age-related losses to how well these little packages of energy production are doing. They actually don't do well over time. And what happens is that our cellular energy production gets corrupted and lost progressively. This is one of the main theories of aging and the onset of Alzheimer's. Loss of proper energy production. How can we overcome this? Well, we know in modern science there are a number of elements that make up the mitochondria which are reduced or lost over time. And if we could supplement with these, we could help correct this thing, this problem. One of these is called Alcar. You might already be taking some Alcar or have heard about it. There are many different versions of this in the sense of what's on the shelf and labels. Alcar is acetyl L-carnitine. It's a component in every cell, and it augments neurotransmitters in the brain. It influences energy production and fat transport. It's really important. We offer a very pure form, a non-Chinese form of Alcar. We know that from research, Alcar in humans and even in animal models, Alcar improves memory, attention, emotions, and behavior, as well as general energy metabolism. So we use a non-Chinese pure form with no fillers. We have a very beautiful, effective ability to use this component to help reverse some of the age-related loss. Now, in addition to Alcar, there are two other components which seem to work synergistically with that at the level of the mitochondria. One is called alpha lipoic acid, and the other is coenzyme Q10. Again, these are found in many vitamin stores. I think in this case, if you find a pure one, perhaps it doesn't come from China, or you should check where the product comes from and ask for purity results. Alpha lipoic acid and coenzyme Q10 could help you in addition to Alcar. So these are three important things you can supplement to increase energy. Balanced energy for balanced health. Our last area, the first was B, and then we had omegas, and then we had energy in general. The last area, this fourth area, for the essentials. All right, we're not a vitamin store. We're not trying to sell everything under the sun. We want to let you know about the essentials. Vitamin D3 is the fourth that we're going to talk about in this short video. It has a whole body balancing influence. We normally think of vitamin D3 in terms of sun exposure. You go out in the sunshine, you get more vitamin D3. Okay? And we normally think of the consequences. It helps bones. It helps with our calcium and phosphorus metabolism and helps with mineralization of our bones. Now, of course, all this needs exercise to help use your bones, to help build bones. But without vitamin D3, there are problems with building bones. And that leads to deficiencies and therefore osteoporosis. And later in life, that means more easily breaking bones, hips, tibias, all kinds of problems. So we want to make sure that we don't have a deficiency in D3. And that can happen either you're indoors a lot, or you live in a northern culture, or different ethnic components, different dietary intake, and general health. Somebody's recently shown that up to about 60% of all the patients in the hospitals are vitamin D deficient. So it is a component of lack of proper health. So vitamin D3 does more than just work your bones, make them happen. And again, for good bone health, you need to exercise. However, for vitamin D3, it promotes brain health. It's more than just a bone thing. It helps proper brain health. It's also known to be an anti-inflammatory element. It influences your immune system, and there's now considerable evidence from a lot of epidemiological studies that it will help prevent a number of known types of cancer. So vitamin D3 is just not bone, it is whole body health. So here are the four. These were the essentials. In other tapes, we'll go deeply into them and cover other areas. But we want to let you know that the Anti-Aging Company is here to help you navigate through the wide range of possibilities. Back 10, 20 years ago, you walked into a store and they had some options and you could probably pick one or two. Now you walk into a store and it goes on for miles. You go on the web and it's like 10,000 hits for vitamin D3. Where do you begin? We've done the research work for you. We've looked at the research over the last 10, 20, 30 years, asked which ones are not only essential, which ones are the most effective, which ones should you really take and not have to bother taking a gazillion types of them. We've done the work for you. We want you to help you decide what is best. We have a website, www.anti-agingcompany.com. It's research-based knowledge and products. We have ebooks, we have e-videos, we have all this we produce for you and for your health. We invite you to take advantage of this. We invite you to contact us. The Anti-Aging Company was created for you. And we're here to help you live a long and healthy life. So thanks for being with us on this video. We'll see you again in the future, and have a long and healthful and youthful brain. Take care now.